Hi, English 9, it's Mrs. Sopiarz-Rianda. Hope you guys had a great weekend and are actually ready for a full 5-day school week. I know we haven't had one of those in a couple of weeks, but we are continuing our work in the definition essay genre. Last week, you worked really hard on defining exactly what a definition, which is ironic, right? Because we're defining a definition essay. But we looked at several essay examples, and you developed a sometimes, always, never chart together. You also talked about how words are added and why they're added to our vocabulary. We talked about the latest and greatest words added to the dictionary in 2014. And you also looked at and chose a mentor text that you'll use as your model. Mentor is the same thing as exemplar or example. So that is the text that you will be using as an example. So you did a really close study of your mentor text that will guide you as you begin writing your definition essay this week. So this week we're really starting the writing process of your definition essay. You can see right here that session 3 is due by Sunday, March 1st before midnight. So go ahead and click on our folder. And then you can see this session runs from the 23rd through the 1st. And then, as always, you click right here. You watch the handy dandy video that you are watching right now. And so, like I mentioned, last week we worked really hard on understanding the characteristics of a definition essay. So now it's time to begin the writing process. This week we're going to review the definition essay expectations. You're going to review the rubric, and then you'll also choose your topic, do some pre-writing, outline, and finally draft your first draft of your definition essay. So here's a list of all of our assignments this week, as well as the suggested schedule for the week. Again, if you're having trouble with organization and time management, I've done it for you. You don't have to stick to it exactly, but this is a really good guide for you to organize your time and your work this week. Please use it. So navigate through a session, as always, by clicking Next in the upper right-hand corner. That's the way that this information is meant to be delivered. If you skip around, then you will be confused. Okay, so here are the essential questions that are going to be guiding our research this week. And here are the qualifications of the definition essay. So before you begin writing, it's really important for you to understand, the expectations of this assignment. So the definition paper will establish the significance of the concept and why its definition needs to be extended. Remember, this is an extended definition. There's lots of essays that include a definition, but your essay is an extended definition. That's the only thing that your entire paper is about. It's about one term or concept that you are defining. Okay, that's what sets it apart from just a regular old essay. You will make a claim or a thesis. You will have something that is arguable, relevant, and thought-provoking. And then you'll also introduce an unconventional and fresh perspective on what you're trying to define and uncover. You're not going to be saying the same old that everybody says about love, about friendship, about bravery. You have a fresh perspective on it. And you're going to provide research and evidence for your writing. Some other requirements are right here. We're going to be going over the MLA works cited page and citations next session. You are going to be citing at least 3 sources in your essay, and that is what parenthetical citations are. And then you're going to have an engaging introduction that defines the definition. You're going to have a clear organizational pattern, use transitions. You're going to have a conclusion that entices the reader to think about this definition more. You're going to be using some colons, varying your sentences. And then right here is the rubric. And I highly recommend that you review that rubric on your own, because next session, before you submit your final draft, you will be grading yourself. So it's important for you to know what an A is so that you have high expectations for yourself, right? So be sure to review that and make sure that you get the grade you want, but more importantly, that the product that you are going to produce this week aligns with what the expectations are, okay? You don't want to write a 5-page research paper when I'm asking you to write a 1 to 2-page definition essay, right? So first thing to do is to choose a topic. And here's some directions on how to brainstorm, research, and finally choose your topic. Down here is a list of some topics that you can consider while you are trying to research and choose your topic. Once you choose your topic, I think choosing the topic is probably the hardest part of any essay. Because an essay or a topic that isn't really interesting to you, you're going to write as if it's not interesting to you. But if you choose a topic that is relevant to yourself, that you're interested in, that you're even passionate about, it comes across in your writing. So choose your topic wisely and just don't think like, oh yeah, that's a good topic, I'll just use that. Really try to choose a topic that you care about, okay? And as you choose your topic, you're going to be doing some pre-writing. And pre-writing it's a time for you to think about the ideas that you might want to explore in your essay. So be sure to answer all of these questions as you are doing your pre-writing for your essay. Submit that pre-writing here. And then you're going to be looking at crafting your introduction. And I provide you some strategies here for an introduction, as well as some pitfalls, some mistakes, some missteps that you don't want to do in your introduction. So be sure to review that. In your introduction is also your thesis statement. Remember, this is what your entire essay is about. It's your definition of your term, basically, right? So be sure that you review these documents or this link right here on tips on how to write a strong thesis statement. And this is a really awesome link that helps you generate a thesis statement. So post your thesis in the discussion board and respond to 2 other students' responses. Remember, a thesis statement is not a question, okay? A question is a hook. Thesis statement is just that. It is a statement. It is what your entire essay is going to be about, okay? That's a pitfall that I see a lot of students do. Finally, you're going to start working on your outline and writing your first draft. So your outline is right here on the left-hand side. An outline is really the hardest part of the writing process, okay? It's right here on the left in the black, okay? I provided you a detailed outline that you can use as you begin this writing process. Again, this is all the hard part. This is where all the meat is. Don't write complete sentences, but be sure that you're very detailed in your outline, because if you are, then your first draft will be way easier. If you really don't just think of the first draft or the outline as something that you have to do, but really utilize it for what it's meant for, then that outline will just naturally turn into your first draft. Okay, so just don't skip over the outline. Really dive in and be very specific with some good details for you for your first draft. So once you have that first draft, you are then going to be writing your first draft. Once you have your outline, you're going to be writing your first draft. So the definition essay is basically a 5-paragraph essay. That's the format we're going to be using. You're going to have an introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Those 3 body paragraphs, in each one of those body paragraphs, choose at least one strategy from the color-coded strategies below to help define your term or concept. Okay, these are all strategies, all ways that you can define your term. So you can pick 3 different ones. You can pick, 2 in one or whatever, but try to, pick at least one strategy per paragraph to help you define your term. Okay. And then finally, you're going to be submitting your outline and your first draft into the Dropbox. Your outline is worth 20 points, your first draft is worth 50 points, okay? If you have any questions about this, let me know. I will provide the bulk of my feedback in your first draft. Your first draft is really your work in progress. So that's where I give detailed individual feedback. And I expect for you to use that feedback to polish as one of the things that you're going to be using to polish your draft into your final paper. And for your final paper, you're going to be submitting it into turnitin.com, and I'm just going to be grading using the rubric for your final. For all the individual feedback, I'm going to be giving it here on the first draft. Okay? So if you have any questions this week, please let me know. And that's it. I mean, it's been a busy week. You've worked really hard and done tons of work. So before you sign off for this session, answer yes to all of these questions. If you can answer yes to all of these learning checklist, then you are done with the session. If not, go back and review what needs to be done in this session. Have a great week, everybody.